Hello, folks. What is going on? This is Danny Boy Reginald, along with Bill Corpus, Crispy Murphy. We're so excited to have you here for another edition of Thursday Night Gridiron right here on Sports Sandy Network. We are not live, as you can probably tell.
We are
Maybe
recording this
look
on
live.
Wednesday.
Yeah, look live type of thing. Yeah, we are recording this a little early. Danny Boy has some family plans that he has to attend to, so he will not be around Thursday night to be live streaming this little thing we do for Thursday Night Football. And given that it is a disastrous game on Thursday Night Football.
Well, how about this, Reg? You ready? We just decided to do this early because we didn't want to waste our Thursday night talking about this game.
Yeah. Because it's such a disastrous game, why not just get it out of the way a day early, get it off our minds, and then whether we watch this game or not, it's completely up to us. But in any case, we're doing it because we have to. And also because we love you folks.
We love you all so much. You
and
are
we
awesome.
want to make sure you get our content every week. So thank you for joining us on Thursday Night Gridiron, recorded edition of Thursday Night Gridiron. Not live, it's a look live type of situation. Okay. We're gonna obviously get to the game going on Thursday, Panthers versus the Bears. Like I said, not a very exciting matchup, as both me and Bill have already said.
Have you noticed all these Sunday night games? I mean, not Sunday, all the primetime games this week are kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Jets and Raiders are going to be crap, especially now that the Raiders sort of found their little funk with your boy Antonio Pierce coaching them to a victory. How about that? Smoking the cigars afterwards in the locker room.
I saw that.
But no, I mean, yeah, I actually agree with you there. These games aren't in the NFL. They're doing a very poor job this season with the primetime games, and it's very, very evident. Though what I will say is that for whatever the hell reason, the Jets continue to draw big numbers on primetime. So I don't know why. Maybe it's the Rodgers effect. Maybe it's they're so curious about Zach Wilson. Maybe you have Jet fans who are like,
well, don't forget, this schedule was made before Rodgers went down, so they're probably like, "Ooh, Rodgers on the Jets. We got to give the Jets as many primetime games as possible."
Yeah, but you know what? The Jets are never on this many primetime games, Bill.
It's the Rodgers
effect. Jets are never the Jets. The 3 Sunday night football. I mean, 2, but like you know what I mean. Come on now. The Jets are on Sunday. They're on Monday night this past week, which they lost badly. Then they're on Sunday night, and then the next week, and then then they're on the nationally televised 425 game, and then they're on Black Friday. Like this doesn't happen to the Jets here. This does not happen. Never, ever, ever, ever,
does
ever.
not happen to the Jets. You're getting all these primetime games now, pal.
Yeah. Primetime, nationally televised.
You're not used to this, aren't you?
Especially, I mean, and obviously, you make the good point. The schedule was released in the off season. With the pretty much the anticipation of Rodgers. Forget Aaron Rodgers. The anticipation of Rodgers, and released after Rodgers signed and everything, and so clearly the Jets had the agenda in the NFL, but again, the rest of the slate just terrible, and this Thursday night game is no different from anything. These are 2 bad teams, 2 teams in the hunt, probably for a top draft pick, if barring any big time miracle winning streak that happens, which I don't see happening from any
We're gonna
team.
be honest. We're just stalling because we really don't want to talk about this game.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Like, come on,
But
I don't want to. I don't want to look at my TV screen, watch Chicago Bears. I don't want to watch TV screen, look at Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. I don't want to watch it. It's not something that I look forward to this Thursday night. Now, here's what we'll say about the Panthers real quick. They lost to the Colts on Sunday. Yeah, that's nice. What's new? They're still looking for a road win. This is shocking. Yeah, they have not won on the road. And then, by the way, I was being sarcastic there. Bryce Young has started 7 games. He has a 1-6 record, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and this loss on Sunday is his worst performance. Where he had 3 interceptions, 170 yards of passing offense, QBR 48.3. And guess what? 2 of those interceptions were pick sixes that resulted in 14 points for the Colts. And, and then you look at that performance and you sort of wonder, like, what were the Panthers thinking in the offseason? And I get that they wanted a quarterback now and stuff. But you had better quarterbacks in the draft. Means something they couldn't get a CJ Stroud.
yes, like CJ Stroud, who we're actually might be talking about later in rapid fire, but still, CJ Stroud, one of the best. I would say he's the best quarterback of this rookie class.
100%.
And the thing is that this Bryce Young, I'm not really fully to throw him under the bus, call him a bust. I'm not ready to do that.
Well, I am.
Well, because here's the thing, Reg. Usually, quarterbacks in their first year, we can expect them to be like CJ Stroud is right now, or how Mac Jones was in his first year. Like
Zach Wilson in his first year wasn't this bad.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying Zach Wilson
Okay.
in his first year was not this bad.
Yes, but I'm not ready to call Bryce Young a bust just yet. Like some NFL quarterbacks, it takes them a season, maybe 2, to find their footing.
Right.
So I'm not ready to throw Bryce Young to the dogs and say, okay, he gone. He done. All right, Caleb, come to Carolina.
See.
Or, okay, Michael, come to Carolina.
Yeah, see, very ironic coming from New Yorkers that were like, he's not right. See, this is my thing with the way the quarterback culture is. You say that about Bryce Young. Whoa, year 1. He's already started a trillion games. You know what? We need to give him some time. It's okay. He just needs to, a year or 2. Meanwhile, Zach Wilson gets injured. Everyone wants him gone after year 1. Like, it's like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? This is exactly the quarterback culture. By the way, Zach Wilson stinks. He's not good. He won't be the answer to the Jets. But that's exactly my point. I just want to make that point because
he's getting his Zach Wilson.
It's just funny. It's funny how for everyone else, well, it's okay. He just needs a year, maybe 2 years to get his foot wet. He'll play like 30 games, and then we'll see. No. Meanwhile, Zach Wilson, midway, you only play like 15 games.
But let's bring this back to Bryce Young here.
But yeah, Bryce Young, he's clearly, and the only reason why I'm being critical is because he's a number 2 pick. He's number one pick.
He was the number 1 pick.
He was number 1 pick. I apologize. I'm thinking of Zach Wilson. I'm also thinking of CJ Stroud, who was the number 2 pick. He was the number 1 draft choice, the number 1 overall pick in the entire draft, and he's underperforming.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you that he's
And
underperforming.
look,
I don't disagree
Trevor
with you.
Lawrence was not underperforming at this point of the season. What was he struggling? Yeah, he was struggling. He had one of the worst coaches in NFL history, in Urban Meyer, who was clearly not ready for the NFL job and
And then
stuff.
he got one of the best coaches in the NFL,
Exactly.
Doug
So,
Peterson.
but even after Urban Meyer was fired, Trevor Lawrence showed you something. Like, he showed you promise. He showed he actually belonged in the NFL. Bryce Young does not show any of that. And there's conversation right now that he clearly doesn't have it yet.
Do you think, okay, if you're Carolina, let's say it's the end of the season, you're going to get a high draft pick. Like, as of now,
Yeah.
the draft, if the season were to end today,
Mm-hmm.
if the season were to end today, and don't forget, the Panthers, they traded their draft pick last year to get Bryce Young. That was a big mistake.
Right.
So, would you try to trade up again
No. For what?
and try to get Caleb Williams or Michael Penix
No.
or the kid
No.
from Carolina whose
No.
name escapes
See,
me right
I've
now?
I've been the believer, Bill, and I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
I've been the believer. Just like how I am with Zach Wilson, just like how anyone should be with any quarterback. I'm a believer that you gotta stick with the pick that you have. If the issue is coaching, the issue is coaching. If the issue is the offensive system, the issue is the offensive system. If the issue is confidence, try to find ways to get his confidence up a little bit. You have to give him a chance to succeed in the NFL. And that's where I agree with you. You have to give him a chance. But knowing about the absolute culture of the NFL quarterback and about how quickly the quarterback in the NFL has to adjust and has to be a big time winner, because especially the top quarterbacks in the league, the ones that get drafted high, the ones that you know that people tout incredibly high. Like, those quarterbacks are the ones that are going to get criticized the most if you don't do well, which is a shame, because a lot of these quarterbacks, they aren't ready for you know the action yet. Like, some quarterbacks probably need a year to sit down and watch. Some quarterbacks need 2 years to sit down and watch. Like,
Perfect
like,
example. Since you use a Jet example, I'm using an example from my beloved Giants. Look at
sure.
them.
I have a
Right?
better example. Go ahead.
It's only fair. Look at Eli Manning. Like, when he first got drafted to the Chargers and then got traded, like, that's why they had Kurt Warner there. So they were probably thinking, okay, Eli, you're gonna sit a few games till you're ready, and then we're gonna let Kurt Warner hold down the fort. So yeah, but and look what happened to Eli after those couple games when Warner started. He started to find his footing and started to become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying here. What was the example you were going to use?
Well, Jordan Love, even though it's
Okay.
not quite, he still ain't quite there yet. He's still far better than if he were to start his rookie year. You understand my point?
Yeah, like maybe you shouldn't throw rookie quarterbacks
Yeah.
into the pool just yet.
Give
But
them time.
sometimes some rookie quarterbacks are ready to go.
Yeah.
Again, we brought his name up a few times already. CJ Stroud.
Hey, if I'm being real with you, I don't even think Mark Sanchez was ready for the moment. Though I'll give him a lot of credit. He was the quarterback in 2 straight AFC title games. And it's stuff like that sort of sprung this culture. You had, the prior year, I believe it was Flacco with the Ravens. And then, of course, the year after it was Sanchez with the Jets. In his rookie year, who, almost made it to the Super Bowl. and then now all of a sudden there's pressure to start the quarterback, and it's almost kind of dangerous to do that because now you're setting all these expectations that for some players are just unrealistic,
But
and it's
Carolina, correct me if
yeah,
I'm wrong, they didn't have that veteran quarterback
yeah,
that Bryce Young could just sit on the bench and observe while he gets ready for his start, to be fair to Carolina. But again, I think the thing is, in this case, you know what? I'm ready. Are you ready to put Bryce Young on Ryan Leaf territory yet?
no. We're gonna be patient for him because we have to, and because it's only fair to him. But if we're gonna start criticizing quarterbacks like Zach Wilson after God knows how many games, then we have to do the same with Bryce Young after God knows how many games. And it's gonna get to that point. Like Zach Wilson took him a couple years to play 15 games. Like if we're gonna criticize Zach Wilson after 15 games, we have to criticize Bryce Young after 15 games. That's just me. Like if we have to be fair, fairness. And I don't want to hear the bullcrap about year one, year two. There's a difference. No, games played is also matters too. So yeah, so that we have to be patient, obviously, and we will be. But if I'm not seeing any improvement after the end of the year, and he plays all these games, which it seems like barring any injury he's gonna do, then we do need to take a look at it. We do need to take a look at it, especially after the performance against the Colts on Sunday, because that is an unacceptable performance. I don't
No,
care
I
what
totally agree with you.
I don't care what
Listen, I'm not like, we'll have him be the starter forever. I'm just like saying, first year, because we got to go. All quarterbacks are different.
yeah.
Some rookies, again, CJ Stroud, Mac Jones in his first year,
Mm.
they are ready to go into the pool. Well, others like Bryce Young, not so much. But they at least should have maybe tried to get like a bridge quarterback and have him learn
Yeah, I
under.
mean, it would have been nice to have someone
They
like
should
that.
have tried to get a Brent. They should have at least tried to get like a bridge quarterback to
Or keep Dar. They
be like
could
a
have kept
journeyman or
they
something.
could have kept Darnold. I don't understand why they didn't keep Darnold.
They
You
could have
know,
they could have kept Sam Darnold,
yeah, I don't know.
but
Um, so it is looking like it's gonna be another top draft choice for Carolina. Um, now we have to address the coaching, and the reason why is because the guy's been given chance after chance after chance to prove himself. And I get it. During his Colts tenure, he had a chance to pretty much make a big run if it wasn't for Andrew Luck retiring and all that stuff. Like, I really think the Colts had a big time chance to be a big time team in across the league. But for Frank Reich, we have to start evaluating him as a head coach in this league based on his ability to be a coach. He's a terrific offensive coordinator. I'll tell you that much.
he is.
Terrific offensive coordinator. But as a head coach, I don't know. Like I'm starting to miss certain things a little bit. The play calling is questionable. The teams he builds are questionable. And this is a young Carolina team, but still. Culture, you know, like it's certain things like that is very, 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 very concerning. So I ask you, Bill, one in not one. Let me repeat that. Can he be the answer to a team? Can he be the answer to the franchise, especially the Panthers?
To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, but let me explain why, and maybe I'll lead to an answer then. The thing is, when it comes to head coaches, when they're in their first ever season as a head coach, I'm willing to give them cut them some slack. Because I'm like, okay, this is your first time coaching. This is your first time coaching, being head dog. If you choke this year, I'm not going to be upset. It's, it is what it is. But Frank Reich is not a rookie head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Reich coached the Colts, in which he sucked. He was in the offensive coordinator. He was an offensive coordinator for the Eagles, and that was the Eagle team that won the Super Bowl.
Very good offensive coordinator. Terrific.
And listen, some people can go from coordinators to head coaches with ease. Bill Belichick was a defensive coordinator, and now he's one of the top head coaches in the NFL. He is the top head coach in the NFL. But some can make that transition with ease. Some may take a little while. Others should just stay as coordinators. Josh McDaniels. But when it comes to Frank Reich, I don't know if he's exactly the answer at the moment. Because, I was thinking with him as offensive coordinator, maybe he can mold Bryce Young into an NFL quarterback. But unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's happening.
Yeah. Go ahead. Finish up. Sorry.
And, we are thinking, is Frank Reich going to get another chance? Or is he going to be a one and done for the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah. So, my thing is, I feel like for Frank Reich, and I can understand why he wanted to get back to being a head coach, and I get it. I get the rush. You want to be the guy. And, this was a good opportunity, young team, young quarterback, probably, new fresh system for everybody over there. So it was a good opportunity for him. I almost felt like for him, it probably would have been better to go back as a coordinator. I wanted him to be offensive coordinator for the Jets. Also, I wanted him to get the assistant head coach tag. Just so, in case anything were to happen to Robert Saleh, Frank Reich can easily take over and, be perfectly fine. But the thing is that him going back to being head coach, now you really have to prove that, that whatever you had with the Colts wasn't a fluke. And, again, he had some really tough seasons as head coach. He made the playoffs. He had chances to make the playoffs, but missed it at the end of the season. He has had bad seasons. It's been up and down. Now you have to prove that you belong as a head coach in this league, because this league is very unforgiving. Very, very, very unforgiving. They will not give you any other chance if you can't prove that you can be a top coach in the league, top head coach in the league. So in that sense, I understand why he wanted to do it. But can he be the answer to the Panthers? I think so. I mean, if he built it right, I know, and again, I'm killing the Panthers right now because they're not real. They're not showing any. They stink. They're not showing any life whatsoever.
No, they're not. It's like that meme, with the kid with the stick on. Come on, do something, please.
Yeah.
You know what meme I'm talking about.
They're not showing anything, and he clearly is part of the problem. But he can be the answer if he shows me that his quarterback can build up his game, be one of the best quarterbacks in town, and then ultimately lead them to becoming a big time team for Carolina in the NFL for all of us to watch and be, and attract superstars and all that stuff. I think he can be the answer, but he has to prove it to me, and his window is very short. It's not something that we're gonna wait 3 years, 4 years to. He needs to do it within like the next couple of years. That's just me. Carolina's defense is banged up. They're banged up in the secondary. Their best pass rusher is out with a concussion. Best corner is out with a concussion. So clearly the Bears have an advantage here. If Carolina's defense is not going to be very good, they have the biggest advantage, and they have to take advantage and make sure that they score a lot of points. The Bears, though, are 2-7. Just like Carolina is, they're last in their division. Again, on their way, if there's no miracle here, to a top draft pick, and they have a quarterback problem.
Yes.
Justin Fields has not been cleared.
Yes. Adam Schefter reported today that he's out for tomorrow night.
He's not been cleared, which means it was Tyson Bagent. Am I saying it correctly?
Bagent. Who cares? Yeah. No. I'm sure you do care. I care. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. And guess what? It's not that I don't care about his name. I obviously I want to get that right, but I just don't flat out care about these players. Like, again, it's a terrible matchup. I don't.
Guys, we'd rather go talk about paint dry than this game. We'd rather go talk about the Star Wars prequels than this game. The Star Wars prequel.
Attack of the Clones is one of the best movies of all time.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's a joke, Phil.
I know. I'm sorry. There are things I take very seriously, and that's one of them.
I wasn't serious. Like, come on. I fell asleep in theaters watching that film.
If only JT.
We were in Cooperstown. I swear to God, Bill. We were in Cooperstown. We go to a local movie theater that's like outside of town, to watch Attack of the Clones. We were so excited. The film was so boring. We were knocked out not even halfway through. It was incredibly boring. It pissed off my sister because she wanted to see something else, and she had no say in the matter. So yeah, it was disastrous. Like and to this day, like I watch it just to find some good parts of the film. There are none. There are just none. It's a terrible, terrible part of
the Phantom Menace, as bad as it is, and then we'll get back to the game in a second. I promise. Like, are we really disappointing anybody by stalling right now?
No, because it's a bad matchup. Go ahead.
Yeah. Phantom Menace, as bad as it is, at least you can actually laugh at how bad it is.
Wait, but you know what? The Phantom Menace, and my brother and I, we've talked about this before. The plot ages so well, if you really think about it. This is the origin of Darth Vader. Like, we found the origins of Darth Vader in Phantom Menace. We found out, well, this guy, the Force is strong in him, but sometimes it can make him weak and he can make him break. What do you mean? Like, what? He's a dangerous figure, but we're going to train him as a Jedi? Oh, no. But yeah, no, as bad as that is too. At least,
as bad as it is, at least you can laugh at how bad it is.
At least you can laugh at it, and the story of it is just it continues to age like fine wine, baby. That's just it's a terrific story.
Because there was a concept, and people have used this for other bad movies. It's called Phantom Menacing. Because if you look at the reviews, they were positive when they first came out, because people were trying, because this was the first Star Wars movie in over a decade.
Right.
And people were trying, no, it's actually good. And go, no, it's terrible.
God.
Yeah, but anyway, and they didn't come here to listen to us talk about Star Wars. They wanted
they listened to talk about Tyson.
Tyson Badgenet.
Magnation, whatever his name is.
Just call him Tyson B.
Last 3 games he has started. He's played the last 4, but started the last 3. He has a 1-3 record if you count the game that he played in that he didn't start. If not, if you don't count it, he's owned. Or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't care. In the Saints loss, he went 18 for 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He hasn't look. Obviously, we're ripping this kid apart. He actually hasn't been too bad.
He hasn't been terrible.
He hasn't been the worst. I don't think he's part of the problem with the Bears. I think he's actually moved the offense better than Justin Fields, if you want my honest opinion. But once again, we're not talking about a top tier quarterback in the league. We're talking about a backup who time after time after time is proving exactly why he's a backup. And for a team like the Bears, it's just a shame because, the Bears were one of the teams that had, we weren't expecting them to win a Super Bowl, but we were expecting a lot from the Bears this year. And clearly it has turned a massive corner to something that, was unexpected, but definitely something that it was probably needed to see. And part of that's on the coach, part of it's on the quarterback for his injury, obviously. And the rest of the team just, with the injuries and just underperforming, like the whole part of it has just been pretty awful.
Yes, the Bears itself, Justin Fields. I think next season's gonna be his last season. Like, I don't think they're gonna give him the 5th-year option.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna give Fields the 5th-year option. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think so. And it's tough for me to say because I want to like the kid. I'm sure he'll find success elsewhere. I'm not. Basically what I'm not doing. I'm not saying he won't be better. It won't be a good quarterback in the league. I'm not. I'm not comfortable saying that yet. What I am comfy saying is he just won't be for the Bears. And plans change. I think a lot of it was that, plans have clearly changed and they want to go a different route, and that's totally fine. That's totally their decision to make and stuff. But it's a shame because, I thought the Bears had something with Fields too. Like I really did. Like he showed some positive signs early on, but as evident as we've seen this year, just hasn't really materialized. And again, part of it's on the coaching, part of it's on the makeup of this team, and it's quarterback play. It's all a mess. It's a whole mess.
Yeah, and that's the thing here too. But you also got to look at it this way. Chicago, they have the number 2 who they got via the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And the number 3 pick next year. Do you, because you're probably going to your last year with Justin Fields, do you start the process now and go for because they're going to be in a good position to get like a Caleb Williams or a Michael Penix.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you, or the kid from North Carolina whose name escapes me right now, do you take that opportunity and get Caleb Williams or Michael Penix, or do you just stick it out? What do you think?
Well, if your plan is to get a new quarterback, then if you want my honest opinion, I don't know, I would just go for it, because why not?
So on draft night, if your Bears are picking number 2 right now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Cardinals are going to do with Kyler Murray, but if your Bears draft night number 2, let's say the Cardinals pick Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the Chicago Bears are now on the clock. Like if you're Chicago, if you're Ryan Poles, do you like, okay, Caleb, welcome to Chicago?
If you want to, you can. If you want to. But if not, you have to show some commitment to Justin Fields if that's the direction you want to go with. But I just don't know if that's what they want to do. It seems like they're trying to tank for one of the top quarterbacks.
Just if you want to tank, teams, if you're going to tank, just tell us you're tanking.
Yeah, well, the players aren't going to do that. Neither is the coach and everything. They're going to play out their minds because that's in their nature. It's not in their nature to just lose on purpose.
So you were going to tank. Remember with the tank for Trevor? You're upset that the Jets did not tank for Trevor Lawrence.
And it's still killing us today. He probably would be a better quarterback than Zach Wilson today. And he is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson today. But oh my God, what a world. And I kill the Jets every time about it too, because we could have had Trevor Lawrence. But in any case, so yeah, I think the Bears are in a tough spot right now. Now, right side, their running back Herbert is coming back. Their safety Brisker is also set to return. And for the running back, it's actually good because again, the Carolina's defense stinks, so you can run it down their throats and be perfectly fine. But and the rest of the season's all about evaluating the coach because the coach hasn't been good. And just to bring it up, Bill,
yes,
I know you really want to evaluate this guy. He's been on our minds a little bit, Matt Eberflus. Is it time for him to go? And I know he's only been there a couple years.
Well, this is his second year, I think.
Right, but is it time for him to go?
I think so. Because here's the thing, like last year, even though they sucked last year, again, they were all saying like, hey, the team looks more disciplined, the culture in the locker room's been better ever since Eberflus has come. Hey, but they're thinking, hey, we got a good, because originally they had the number 1 pick until they traded it away. Until they traded it to Carolina, ironically, who they're playing tonight or Wednesday night. I'm so used to doing this on Thursday. I'm saying tonight, but it's you get the point. You guys get the point.
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, he could probably get this team to maybe on the, to at least maybe on the cusp of making the playoffs or maybe squeaking into the playoffs. But look, this Bears team has kind of regressed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this might be Eberflus's final season in Chicago.
Which would stink because, like you said, second year.
Dude, I'm a Giants fan. I've seen coaches last 2 years and they go.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but there are other reasons for that. But yeah, it's always tough when you go to. I mean, Adam Gates lasted 2 years in the Jets coach, and he didn't.
It feels like he lasted longer.
No, he it was only 2 seasons. Well, most of it was coaching, and also because he was just flat out annoying and stuff. His attitude was kind of annoying, but yeah, look, it's a shame when you have to fire coaches after 2 seasons. It really is. It because what does it really teach you? Nothing. And all it does really is it just ends up backfiring on the owner, backfires on the general manager. You lose trust in the front office. Like the fan base, the big thing about the NFL, all of its fan bases, they're not dumb. They're passionate fans. So if you tell them one thing and they see another thing, like they're gonna call you out on it. So, for a franchise like the Bears, you look at them as a whole, and you see their fan base. Like they're gonna be on your ass if Eberflus gets fired, because you had something with Matt Nagy, who I think did a very good job. And then you go after, and then you decide to part ways with him. You go with this guy who hasn't really done much and hasn't produced the big time results that you're kind of expecting. And yeah, for a fan base, that can be frustrating. So, the fan base starts to lose trust in the front office. And it's not something that any team should ever want. Giants fans certainly don't want it. Jets fans certainly don't want it. Any fan base would hate it. Bottom line.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that they're going to let Eberflus go at the end of the year. I just have a feeling.
And again, it starts the cycle again. Like, we have to go through another coaching search. Like, who's the right pick? We better get it right. It's a whole thing that no front office wants to ever go through. That's why you try to get it right when you can.
Because I feel like, with the Giants, McAdoo, with that. And then when I saw like Sherber, I'm like, okay. And then say, okay, Giants need a new head coach. I'm like, didn't we just hire Pat Sherber like 10 minutes ago?
Right. Right. Pat Shermer, nice guy, Pat Shermer.
I'm sure he's a fine fellow. And then when Judge got fired, didn't we just hire Joe Judge like 30 seconds ago? And it's just, the cycle continues, and it's annoying. This is why I would hate to be a GM in the NFL. It's like you gotta just go through this constantly. Like, hey, guess what, Ryan? We need a new head coach. Did we just hire one like 5 minutes ago? He sucked, so we're gonna have to. Fine, let's begin the search.
All right. In any case, we'll see how the rest of the season goes for him. Starting to no Thursday night.
Yeah, you're getting used to it too, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean it's in my brain. That's about my. Okay. It's time for rapid fire, Bill.
It is. I'll start
on this one.
What was that?
I'm gonna let you lead the charge on this one.
It is time for rapid fire. Reg, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Starting the clock now. Is it possible that Bill Belichick's going to get fired?
There's talk in New England that Bill Belichick might be on the hot seat. They're all over it in Boston metro area. And I just want to say this. If you're seriously thinking about firing Bill Belichick, can the Jets be the one to really cement that to happen by beating them in the last week of the season? That would be absolutely magical if the Jets were to go into Foxborough, beat Bill Belichick, and then the next day he gets fired on Black Monday. I would be so perfect.
That would be your 2-week late Christmas present.
Oh, absolutely, bro. And I don't care what happens with the Jets after that. The Jets can make the playoffs. Jets don't have to make the playoffs. If they knock out the Patriots in week 18 and end Bill Belichick's tenure in New England, that would be absolutely magical. Just magical. Let's see if it happens. I don't know. It's gonna be it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. I don't know.
I think the possibility, because you know who they're saying that Robert Kraft wants?
Well, I mean,
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, he very Vrabel. There was also talk that it was just a rumor. The rumor is not true, but there was also talk that Ron Rivera was going to be traded for Bill Belichick.
That'd be
It's so
hilarious.
weird. It's like, what do you do? Do you trade him in the coaching staffs? Like, how does it work?
Okay. Speaking of Mike Vrabel, do you agree with the move to start Will Levis over Ryan Tannehill?
So yeah, Will Levis will start. It doesn't matter what Ryan Tannehill does, anything, whether he comes healthy, whether he's out for the season. Um, Will Levis will start the remainder of the season. I love it. I think it's definitely necessary. Get his feet wet, and so let's see what the kid has. What it can't be worse. I'm just saying it can't be worse than what it is already.
Okay. Next, I think Will Levis. I think it's time to give this kid a chance. Like they're giving him a chance right now. I think have him at the very least finish off the season. And my final question:
Mm-hmm.
do you think the Houston Texans are serious contenders this year?
After the game against the Vikings, no. But I will say this: is it possible that they become contenders? 100%. That's a tougher matchup now than it was earlier in the season. I will give them that.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna say they are contenders right now
Okay.
because you got the best rookie quarterback right now in CJ.
100%. No one's denying that for sure.
That defense is coming together nicely.
Yeah.
And D'Amico Ryan, your cousin Dan, your cousin.
My long lost cousin, D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah, but I actually think Houston can be a serious contender. Do I think they're going to hoist the trophy in February? No, but I think they could possibly squeak into the playoffs.
It's gonna be tough though because you have teams in front of you. You have Cleveland in front of you. You have Cincinnati possibly could be in front of you. Pittsburgh. Like you have to jump all those teams or at least one of them, and that's gonna be tough to do because they all have some positives to them. That and Buffalo, like it right now, like I just don't know if it's there. Certainly, like maybe the 7 spot for them, but again, you have to jump over some really tough matchups. That's just me. Like I look at that. I look at the matchups that the not the matchups. I look at the teams they have to jump to get to the 7 spot, and that's a tough one to take. So I'm not quite there with the Texans yet, but I've been very impressed with how D'Amico Ryans has done. He's done a tremendous job coaching. CJ Stroud is a stud. He's going to be a star one day. I'm saying he's going to be a star, and he's going to belong to Texas. He's going to belong to Houston, Texas. Can you believe that? And look, they're a young team. They just have that it factor with them. Like I can't really explain it. They're very very what God damn it what's the word I'm looking for? In any case, they're a very young team and they don't care. They're just playing out their mind because why not? They had nothing to lose.
Okay. So, what's your final score for tonight?
For Thursday night, final on Thursday, I would say it's gonna be a high scoring game. I'd say the Bears edge out, maybe like a 29-10 deal type of thing. That's what I say.
I think the Bears are going to win this game, and I'm going to kind of agree with you. I'm going to say I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not going to give you an exact score, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page with that.
Hey, dude, we're done talking about this crap game.
Yeah. Let's talk more about Star Wars. How about the Mandalorian? When is that going to come back?
Well, if you want to see more, where do they go, Reg?
Please log on to sportsdaynetwork.com. We have a lot of great things. We have the blogs. We have our show, our history of all of our shows and all the members and anything Sports Insanity related. Go to sportsinsanitynetwork.com for all that stuff. Follow us on X at SInsanityReal, at SInsanityReal as well on Facebook. And please like, comment, and subscribe below on this
And
YouTube.
hit that bell.
Yeah. Danny Boy Reginald signing off.
Bill Corpus, Crispy Murphy. Thank you for watching Thursday Night Gridiron recorded edition on Wednesday.
A look live, but it's not live. It's look live. We love you, folks. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy this Thursday game. Like, I don't know, maybe
if you have other plans that might be better, maybe go do those.
I'm gonna be hanging out with my brother. So
So
probably
if you
not
have
watching.
other plans that are maybe better, go do those. Maybe that'll be more fun than
exactly.
This game.
But no, if you're seriously watching the game because you're gonna be invested in it, enjoy the game. Enjoy it. And I hope that your investment was worthwhile.
All right, so stay safe and take care.